everybody, and welcome to another episode of Streamable Horror. Today we're going to be looking at Phantasm, which was released in 1978 and is available on Amazon Prime right now. For plot, this is one of the weirdest plots I've ever seen put in a movie, and it's about this tall guy murders the main character's brother's friend. Or no, I think it's just his brother. It's really confusing. And the tall man is like from a different planet. And this guy turns his planet. He makes them makes people slaves. And when the people are turned into slaves, when they go to this planet, that planet's gravity is different, so they turn into Jawa things. It's really confusing. It's very strange. It's the best way to describe it. It's like a weird nightmare. It's a very strange plot, and probably one of the weirdest ones you've ever gonna see in a movie. I know I say that a lot, but this one's actually extremely weird, and it's almost as weird. It's almost as weird as some Japanese horror films, but this one is just completely different. You're not gonna see anything like this one. It's just it's its own unique thing, and that's why we're gonna go to the violence and gore. There's no really way to describe this movie's plot. I'm just gonna go with that because it's so weird, and it's like nothing you'll ever see. But that's not exactly a bad thing. Now for the violence and gore, this film has one scene in particular that's pretty gore, which is the scene with the drilling. But besides that, it's not too bad. You're not going to see anything to worry about. Would probably be PG-13 now, I would think, since PG-13 didn't exist at the time. But this movie would be PG-13 now, I'm guessing, because the gore is not that bad. It is pretty calm, pretty tame compared to nowadays standards. So this is definitely a more PG-13 rated film. The violence and gore in this film, besides that one scene, there's not really anything. There's the yellow blood, but that's like Halo level of blood right there. So you're not expecting much. This is more, as I keep saying, this is definitely a PG-13 film. So don't expect this to be a hard R. Or even a light R. This is most likely would be PG-13 nowadays. But that's fine, because the violence and gore in this film is not that bad. The only thing that would get this an R rating nowadays is the nudity. And for the nudity, it's only really one scene, which is the scene at the beginning. So, yeah, besides that, this is more just a PG-13 film. This is one of the least scary horror films you'll ever see in your life. It's not because it's not a scary idea, but it is because that they just didn't have the budget for what they were trying to go for. And I'm not going to put that points against the movie, because it's not their fault. They just didn't have the money to make it. But some of the stuff looks really bad nowadays, so it's not something that's going to shake you in your sleep, unlike some other movies from that time period. But it's just that it was more of a cheaper production, so you're not going to don't expect something to be like terrifying. This is just like a little bit of a silly horror film. It's a good story-wise, but it's just not scary. It's not scary when it tries to be either. It's just when it comes to scares. Although I do like this movie, I will say that the scares are the weakest point of this movie, because it's just not scary. There's nothing scary about this film. The tall man is the only remotely scary thing, and that's just because how intimidating he is. So let's go to my final rating. Okay, finally with the rating and my final thoughts. For my final thoughts, I will say I did like this movie quite a bit. It's just that it's a fun little horror film that you're not going to see many of them nowadays. It's a low-budget 70s style horror film, more so in the vein of that style. Not as scary as something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but more so of a just silly sci-fi film. But don't expect this to be scary. It's more akin of just like a kid-style horror film, but it's with the nudity, but there's that too. But it's more of that PG-13 style horror where like anybody can watch it. So I'd recommend this for hardcore horror fans though, just because of the weirdness of the plot. and because of the low budget factor, that it won't be for everyone. So I will say I did like this movie though. This is a very fun movie to watch. But yes, I will not recommend this movie for everybody. Just, if you like that type of movie, watch it. If you don't, then don't watch it. It's not that hard. Sorry I've not uploaded in a while. It is because I have been not home for a while. And also because I'm now playing The Last of Us 2 on my other channel. So I have been working on that. So this, and also sorry this is late. I've been live streaming for a while. So see you guys next week.